What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Legion of X, issue number 5. And I know I'm a little bit late with this one. I know people have been waiting for quite some time to get Legion of X out there. And I promise you, if there is a comic that you are waiting for, we are gonna get to it. I have at least 20 comics that are currently backlogged that I need to get caught up with. So every storyline that we have been covering, we are going to continue on. But this one is going to bring an end to the story arc, to story arc number 1. Everything from the Skinjacker to the fugitive god to the spirit of variance. Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into issue number 5, we are picking up at the altar. Right now, our Skinjacker is inside the one and only Legion. This means that he has seized control of this pocket dimension inside the mind of Legion. And if the situation could not get any worse, this is where we see ORA SERRATA, the giant eyeball that is on the Great Ring of Arakko, the one that sent them after the fugitive god. She has come here demanding from Nightcrawler to find out where this fugitive god is. They have been given ample time to find this god, and now she has come for her answers. And while Nightcrawler tries to let her know that this place is currently unsafe, the truth is, they don't truly understand how unsafe they really are right now. If our Skinjacker was imaginary at all in his mind, he would have access to all of Legion's abilities and powers. That includes the Quantum Complex, a dumping ground for every cracked identity Legion has ever generated. Every superpower you can think of, and a billion that you can't. They all lie calm and sedated, tucked away and hidden. But this possession of Legion, it doesn't last long, because we have Blindfold come out of left field, and she knocks Skinjacker right out of Legion. Now they have that problem that is temporarily solved. Of course, the Arbitrix Aura, she also wants her answers. And Nightcrawler says that if you want to do this right here, right now, let's do this. The truth is, you were the first worshipper of this god, that when that god fled, it fled from you. And of course, she tries to deny it, tries to say that that is just absolutely ridiculous. The only problem, she knows the god's name, a name that has never been spoken to anybody that wouldn't have met the god already. Now, Aura being of Arakko, she sees what Nightcrawler is doing as a challenge. But Nightcrawler tells her that there will be no challenge. There will be no fight. What is going to happen is that you are in the altar, which means you are under arrest for the things that you have done. Unwilling to go down quietly, she tells everybody that they will bear witness. This is when one by one, we see people just start disappearing, turning to ash, much like when Thanos had snapped his fingers. Nightcrawler barely able to escape, teleporting to a location where he remains hidden, while the Arbitrix, she is making people disappear. That is what takes us over to a no place on Krakoa. We have the god Tumult. He is face to face with the Skinjacker. Our Skinjacker begging for him to give him more power, more ability, so that he can go out there and continue to do what he was doing. But our god has had a change of heart, rejecting the Skinjacker's fate, saying that his patronage is revoked, that he has been forsaken. That is when Pixie and Juggernaut come into play, with Pixie coming in with her dagger, jabbing it into the head of our Skinjacker. She puts him into an unconscious state, picking back up in the altar. They are discussing what their best options here are, because right now the Arbitrix is just laying waste to everybody. And if Legion goes down, that means everybody inside of here, they also go down as well. There is nothing for Cerebro to back up. This will wipe them from existence if they die inside of the altar. Now let me clarify, people can die inside of the altar and be just fine. But if Legion dies, everything will collapse on itself. But Blindfold lets him know that if there is any time to let loose your power, now is the time. This is where we see all the personalities of Legion come flooding out. As all of these people, these personalities, go headed directly for the Arbitrix. Her eyeball turns to them, bearing witness, and one by one, they are being dissolved. They are being eradicated. This whole time, we have seen Mother Righteous watching all of this, keeping tabs, seeing how capable Legion might be, wanting him to be one of her next followers. She could interfere in everything that is going on, but she wants it to play out. She wants to see how this all works. This is when we see mirrors all around the altar begin to lift up into the air. But this isn't Legion's doing. Nobody knows who it is at first. All of these mirrors, they begin surrounding the Arbitrix, unable to bear witness because it would put herself out of existence. This is where we see the god. Tumulent is the one responsible for bringing all these mirrors up, accompanied by Weaponless Zsen, and she is challenging the Arbitrix under the terms of the god law to present her deity to the Circle Perilous. You see, the Arbitrix, her entire goal was to be the overall authority. It was to cause chaos. With gods on the loose, with all of this craziness going on, it would allow her seat of power to be able to seize control. That was the whole objective. She wanted to bring the Iraqi people back to their war roots, believing that Krakoa didn't save them. They have changed them and made them worse, that they have stolen their purpose. And while the Arbitrix still tries to hold her ground, saying that none of this will stand, this is when we have one last visitor, the Regent of Araco, or at least right now in this comic, she is the Regent. If you have read X-Men Red, you will know that she just recently passed that off to Lotus Logos. This is where we have Storm enter the room, but she isn't here to arrest her or put her to death or anything of that nature. In fact, if her seat were to be vacant, there would be a power vacuum, something that she is unwilling to do at this point in time. But she is also not looking to blackmail her. She wants to set up a bargain. They want to make a deal. And so if all of this can stay quiet, everybody is going to get what they want, and the Great Ring will never find out about it. That is what takes us to the next day. We have our Skinjacker standing in the Circle Perilous. Weaponless Zsen saying Switch of Krakoa stands accused of worship in the Broken Land, calling forth its god. This is where we see Tumulent summoned here, and the Iraqi people, they make their attack. What they don't know is that the god is not inside his own form. Pixie using a little bit of a spell to switch their bodies using the god's magic. Switch and the god, they switch places. So our Skinjacker is now in the god's body. He is being killed in the Circle Perilous. And this god, now in the body of Switch, gets to go out into the world and do whatever it may please. After this battle is over, this is when the Arbitrix goes ahead and declares something new. A deal that she struck with Storm, the Circle Perilous. It will be no longer. They will call forth no more gods to murder. And Weaponless Zsen, she is now free from her service. Weaponless Zsen had left a letter for Nightcrawler. The two of them, they've kind of formed a relationship, they've been hooking up. She ensured to wear him out. That way he would not be here in the morning, that he would stay in bed while all of this was unfolding. They knew that he would not be okay with having Switch put into this body and then killed. But Weaponless Zsen knew this is something that had to be done, that not everybody is able to be saved. And Weaponless Zsen, before Nightcrawler is able to find her, she heads off to Port Prometheus. She finds the mercenary battalion, but she is going to go find her own war. She is going to go find out exactly what is out there and who she may be. That is what takes us to the Arbitrix. throwing a tantrum like a little baby. We have Mother Righteous who has come to her. Mother Righteous had promised everything as long as you could do as I have planned. Releasing the god, doing all of this craziness, this was all part of Mother Righteous's plan. And though the Arbitrix messed it up, Mother Righteous also takes her soul, or at least that is appearing what is happening. But this was just part of her plan, because she has focused her attention on Sean Cassidy, our spirit of variance. This is her new worshipper, and she is letting him know that she needs to keep tabs on Legion. That is her main goal. She knows that something is coming. She knows that Legion is going to try and protect everybody. And so the spirit of variance needs to be there, needs to keep watch over Legion, because very soon, Arako is going to be faced with possible extinction. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Definitely not a bad issue, bringing everything to a close, still not really knowing who Mother Righteous is. We are seeing she is making small plays all over the place. From Arbitrix trying to get in on Legion, now having Banshee under her control, also Sebastian Shaw. We don't really know what her play is, but more and more, she is getting worshippers. She is getting people to her side. Many people have theorized that this is just Mephisto, that he is just pretending to be Mother Righteous to make his play. And it's a very solid, and it really appears to be a good theory. We are seeing our spirit of variance, aka Banshee, aka Sean Cassidy, being given this power, being given this ability by Mother Righteous, or so it appears. I am much more interested in finding out about what happened with Legion and Uranus. As you see on the last page, we have Uranus that is entering the picture. Now, in this comic, this has yet to come, but it is right around the corner. When we saw the two have their confrontation, they went up into the space above Arako, but we don't know what happened. We can assume that Legion lost because it didn't take long for Uranus to end up back on the ground. But the next issue, it is going to be the Judgment Day tie-in, which means we are finally going to get our answer on Legion versus Uranus. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with this series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything happening with Legion of X. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.